Hey, pussy, are you still there?
I actually admire that you can actually be this fake. And like when the TV comes on, how you can just change. You're the scum of the earth.
The old down to me, I couldn't do it. The old said I couldn't do it. Look at me now. Lebanon, pound for pound, headshot dead. That's it.
There's guys out there that are doing this day in and day out. They live and breathe this stuff that they don't get the recognition or credit that they deserve.
Is the secret to fighting?
Not being a fucking pussy. Honestly, you can teach anybody how to fight. But like, if you're a fucking pussy, that's a really hard thing to teach someone not to be.
Gang, gang.
Gang, man, I love watching that, man. My mustache was a thing last year, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's time to bring the stash back, bro.
I will. For next interview, I'll bring it out.
I love it. I love it. Well, what's up, Nasty Man? You doing all right?
I'm doing good, you dirty butt nugget. How you doing?
Dude, between me and you and last night, we could have probably took on fucking any fighter on that card last night, to be fair.
Oh, we're definitely PFL ranked now.
PFL ranked for sure, especially after their shit ass performances. But yeah, man, we're here over the Octagon Podcast, episode 58. This will be UFC Mexico recap, and we'll also cover a little bit of the PFL Bellator Super Fight Championship. We'll go over the recap for that, and then yeah, man, then we'll go on later in the week this week, and we'll talk more about this upcoming fight card, and hopefully we'll actually have a fight interview this coming week if we can get one scheduled and in the books. So, but yeah, man. Overall, decent day of fighting yesterday, man. We had fights that started all the way from noon to 1 a.m. And we started out with the PFL Super Fight Bellator, or the PFL Championships versus Bellator champs. And I think it was kind of one, we kind of all expected some of this to go down. I thought PFL would have kind of put up some sort of a fight, but
shit.
I mean, all day of fighting, I'm all for it. But like, it was kind of embarrassing for PFL yesterday, man. Like, I don't know how much of you that you watched of it, but I watched I watched some of it because it was during the day. So obviously, I had my daughter and my wife. We were all hanging out and stuff. We had things we had to do, but I watched definitely most of the main card. And then we had some names. People make their appearances in the early fights, like Clarissa Shields making her debut in the PFL. Ali Walsh getting his first professional fight in the PFL in the super fight.
How did he do?
That win. He won by decision.
Really?
Yep. So, so that was just in the early stages. But once we got into the main card, I mean, we started out with McKee and Collard, and then from there on, it was kind of just Bellator throughout the whole entire event. I mean, McKee dominated. Then Yoel Romero got the unanimous decision. It's kind of cool to see guys when you see names like Thiago Santos and Yoel Romero fighting, because it's like they've been around for years, so it's always just a fan fight. That's a fan fight that couldn't have gone wrong either way.
It was great, man. I definitely watched that one.
So, and then after that, Nemkov gets the win for the Bellators, and then Jackson got the win for Bellator, and then the one where it got really interesting, where it was almost PFL's time to shine, was Impa versus Johnny Eblen, because Johnny Eblen came in, 15-0, or he's 14-0, super dominant champion in Bellator. A lot of people were saying that he could potentially even be the best, one of the top 3 best middleweights, even in the world, in all organizations. But dude, he came out, started out pretty solid in the first, and then Impa to start the second round just loaded on him, dude. Knocked him, almost had him finished, rattled him. Like, it was that he almost finished him in the second round, which was super shocking. But then, Eblen came back and pulled out the third round and ended up getting the win. But I mean, I'd say Impa's pretty good for at least almost getting him finished and putting on as good of a performance as he did.
They're both good fighters, man.
Oh, yeah.
They're both good fighters.
I'm curious to see now with this whole merger and stuff like that. Like, so now that that's the case, so is Johnny Eblen just the champion of everything?
I think so.
It's like that's how they're doing it. I really don't know. I would like to know. So if anybody's hearing this and knows the answer to that, let me know, because I know they're kind of still keeping things separate, but it's all under the same organization. But like, I'm curious to know, like, are they just like the Professional Fighting League Super Champ or whatever they fucking call that shit?
I think they're combined now. They gotta be.
So, well, that one, that had big implications. So, shout out to Johnny Eblin for getting the win. And then the main event,
dude.
I think this one, I don't think the books really knew what they were doing. I mean, literally 3 days before the fight, Ferreira was a underdog. And I was texting a few people saying, like, hey, this guy's an underdog in this fight. If you're going to put your money down on somebody, bet this motherfucker. I was like, dude, he's massive and Bader's old, and he's not going to be able to get in there on him. And exactly what I said, you could have written that down in the book, man. He came out 25-second knockout. Like, I'm sorry, but Bader had no chance to win that.
No, man. Bader is a small heavyweight.
He's super small heavyweight, dude. This guy was like trumped him when they stood next to each other, dude.
Dude, like by like 5 inches.
I know.
It looked like it should never have happened, man. Watching that shit, I was like, Jesus Christ. But dude, he's a beast, man. And if he fights Francis,
he will.
That's gonna be awesome, dude. Why was John Jones there?
He's always there, man. I don't know. Yeah, he was at the one where Francis was at a couple of months ago when he first got inducted. He was there.
What is he doing there?
I don't know. Like, now that you think about it, it's almost like, are they setting some weird shit up? Like,
bro, they gotta be. I mean, it makes so much sense. Like,
I mean, if I was Dana White and I saw John Jones at PFL events doing interviews and shit, and he's a UFC fighter under my organization, I would be fucking pissed off.
Yeah, I would. You would have to address it,
Yeah, so I don't know about that, but we definitely are going to see Ferreira versus Ngannou, and I mean, shout out to him too, because Ngannou has that thing kind of implicated too for his fights that it's a guaranteed $2 million.
Oof.
Fight, so he's going to get a $2 million fight now against Francis Ngannou. So any opponent Francis fights gets $2 million, which is huge for a guy who's fighting in the PFL.
Holy shit, good for him. Good for him and his family.
Yeah, so that's huge. Wow. And then imagine he beats Francis. I mean, then you're putting him on a platform above a lot of people, man. So we'll see.
I want to see Francis fighting MMA.
I definitely want to see Francis fight
badly.
I mean, was I ever I wasn't really like the biggest Francis fan, but he definitely in his career started out okay and it ended on like a dominant, he was the most feared man in the world.
He was scary at one point, man. He took down what's his name, the best heavyweight of all time. Like, I'm drawing a blank. Stipe. Yeah, Stipe. Yep, he's the one that dethroned him, right? Yep, yeah. Correct. So that is a fight that's going to be huge. And they'll do that one sometime towards the end of the year, I think, or middle of the year. I'm not really sure when that'll be, but it's going to be coming. So be prepared for that. Now, I will say this, man. I mean, you get all this Saudi money and stuff like that, and the production that the PFL runs is fucking amateur, dude. It's dog shit. It reminds me of shit, dude. It reminds me of NFC and shit like that over here. Oh, it's bad. It's like you're showing this shit to like a 500 room platform, dude. It's crazy. Like, there was a time, Nasty, I shit you not, dude. When I was watching this fight, I thought my headset was fucked up because you know how you ever have the audio where it's like one side, you're only hearing audio out of one side and it's not on the other. I thought I was losing my mind, dude. I was like, why can I only hear this shit on my right side? And I was like, I went to another website, then I heard everything perfect. And then I'd come back, same thing on the PFL, and then it would go to normal sound. I'm like, dude, what are they doing there? You got all this money and you can't put on a performance for shit. And then the gaps they have between fights, dude. Oh my God. You can fall asleep, bro. If that was brutal. The UFC, dude, we would be fucking dead. Oh my! I almost did die last night during it. It was awesome. We would be dead if we had to wait fucking 25 minutes in between each fight to watch the fights, dude. Fuck that. So, but yeah, man. I mean, it's a cool concept. I do like it. It's good for the people. It's good for true fight fans. Like you don't have to. Like, I get it.
the majority of people out in the world make up for just UFC fans. Like, not a lot of people say like, oh, I'm going to watch Bellator. I'm going to watch PFL. Like, you got to be truly into martial arts to really give a shit to want to watch different organizations and stuff. But I like what they're doing. I mean, now that we have an established big three, you got ONE FC, you got this new PFL Bellator, and you have the UFC, which is kind of like the three big organizations that you watch. And I mean, I like it, and I'm curious to see how it's going to go now with these big champions and stuff in their divisions.
And I mean, dude, the whole merging thing, and there's a lot of people who are ex-UFC champions.
Yep.
Fighting it for Bellator. Now they're in PFL. I was like, dude, I wonder how updated the roster is online. And I started looking at it. I mean, they still have like Anthony Pettis, who's doing this, and he's doing that karate. Speaking of that karate.
Yeah, Karate Combat was fucking awesome, wasn't it?
Dude, whose trainer is that? The guy with the flying the flying armbar or flying triangle?
I don't know who, but you said it last night, I thought.
I forget who it was, man.
I don't know who you said it was. I don't remember. I think you said it was oh fuck, who did you say, dude?
I think it was Sean Strickland or something. I'm not sure.
It's not Sean Strickland.
Oh, Volk. I think it's Volk.
Volk, yeah, that's who you said.
It's his jiu-jitsu guy.
But I mean, he's the number 2 ranked jiu-jitsu in the fighter in the world. So I mean, it was fun though. That was a pretty good performance. So shout out to you, Karate Combat, for actually putting on some good underground like fight shit that a lot of people appreciate. And it's pretty popular. It's more popular than I think people think it is or know it is, because I mean, they had people like, Pajeda and a couple of different big names there. It was obviously Dean Thomas was commentating, and there's big celebrities there and shit all the time.
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then I think it's on UFC Fight Pass, if I'm not mistaken. So it does have a little boost too for being on UFC Fight Pass. So I think it's kind of like a sport sponsored event or something like that. But I don't really know much about it. That was honestly the first time I've watched it, because I didn't really know how to watch it, because I have Fight Pass, but I don't ever really dive into much of anything else besides like some of the other local promotions. But yeah, no, that was fun. Karate Combat was definitely fun. I would love to go to one of those and fucking watch that pit fight, like fighting in the pit. That's pretty sick.
Kind of want to compete in one. That seems fun as fuck, dude. I'm looking at PFL's roster, dude. They have Jake Shields fighting.
Yeah,
Jake Shields is still doing it. Fabricio Werdum is still doing it, dude. They have some studs in there. I would love to see them fight again. I mean, Jake Shields is probably top 20 best fighters of all time. Maybe I'd say like number 19. He was a monster back in the day, dude.
I mean, yeah, he was fire back in the day.
He was that guy. Jake Shields, so underrated, not talked about enough.
How long has the PFL been around? 2018?
Shit, I guess so.
So it's been around since 2018. And their first year of champions, dude, were like literally nobodies.
Yeah, they were hard to watch. That's why we stopped watching them.
Yeah, bro. And then they got people like Kayla Harrison in there who kind of helped out a little bit. Damn, man, you go back and look at their rosters. It's kind of crazy because Kayla Harrison before Larissa Pachenko was a monster.
Oh, yeah. They're making big moves, man. They've been nonstop with these big moves, so we're gonna see something.
I mean, they'll end up getting more and more. I think they'll end up getting more and more. I mean, it's gonna all depend on what type of person you are, but like if they have the kind of money they have to just throw around to fighters, it's gonna be hard to not convince a 20-year-old kid to take $1 million PFL contract or a 2020 UFC contract, like a 20K UFC contract.
And that's what we want, man. And then like, I think that's what they're going for. And then also like in the future, man, you're going to have like, what if they do a UFC champs versus PFL champs when it's actually competitive, which is their goal.
See about that. I don't know if they ever will, but I think the true fighters, like the ones who want to be like the best of all times, will always go to the UFC no matter what. Because it's like there's no comparison into saying you're the ultimate fighting champion of the world. Like, that's just nobody ever is going to not want that. So I'd rather be the UFC champ than the fucking PFL Bellator combined super champ, whatever, 10 out of 10 times. So,
yeah, for sure.
but yeah, no, it was good. It was fun. I enjoyed both of them. Karate Combat's pretty cool. I think we'll start watching more of it now.
Yes.
Honestly, I mean, now we started watching a lot of Cage Titan. Now we got Karate Combat, so we've done a little bit more underground fight scene in there.
Yeah, we still watch wrestling.
And we still watch wrestling. Yeah,
real.
And then after that, so once that wrapped up, we kicked off last night's UFC Mexico card. I mean, was it spectacular? No. Was it good? It was all right. Dude, I'd give it like a 7.8 out of 10, maybe 7.5 out of 10.
Man, the main card was badass. Almost every single fight was good, man. I loved it. It didn't even seem like a fight night, man. I mean, the Prado fight that I lost my wager on, that was insane. That was a bloodbath.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Daniel. So we can start from the top if you want to. We can just kind of go right in. I'm down to go right in. So we'll kick off. We're going to kick off with Brandon Moreno, Brandon Royval. We'll just start with the main card or the main event and go straight from there. But yeah, I rewatched it now. I rewatched it twice since last night because obviously I was a little, scatterbrained by the time that main event went on. But now I've watched it twice, and I think I told you before we got on, I said it could have easily been a draw. And then 2, the third round was the deciding factor in the fight by far. But I honestly, I truly think if you told the judges to judge the fight 10 times, that I think Moreno would have won 7 of the 10. I think Royval just got the lucky draw on that one because of how he finished the fight. So it was like fresh on the judges' minds of who was winning the fight and how they scored it. But I honestly think I scored Brandon Moreno 10-9 for the first 3 rounds, and I gave Royval round 4 and 5.
Same here, man. I don't understand how people could say he didn't win the third round. I mean, the takedowns were there.
The takedowns were there. He landed big. He landed heavy shots.
He did get outstruck, but the thing is not by much, and there was takedowns involved. So it doesn't matter to me. I still think 1 through 3 was Moreno.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but if you look at it though, and look at the statistics, I mean, yeah, Royval outstruck him, but like, look at the striking accuracy. I mean, Brandon Royval threw 556 total strikes. That's crazy.
Yeah, half of them, 80% of them hit the air.
Yeah, and he only landed 32%.
Yeah,
Moreno landed 54% of his strikes. So that to me right there, like, sure, you outstruck me, but dude, he was shadow boxing essentially.
Yeah, man, it just created dude, there's so much fights in this flyweight where there's trilogies, man. And this is going to be a fucking another one, man.
I don't think so.
I
don't think so.
It sucks for Moreno. I wanted him to have another title run. I think a lot of people did too, man. He's just a badass. He's a fan favorite.
It did 3 takedowns too. I mean, 3 takedowns I feel like makes up for the 50 significant strike difference, in my opinion.
When they called the fight, I was so drunk. I was like, Brandon won. Yes, Brandon. I'm like, fuck, dude. I think both their names are Brandon. They are.
Yeah, they're both Brandon.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, Jesus.
So, I mean, I don't really know. I just thought Moreno, when he would throw that overhand left and then finish with the kick, like that was the most effective strike in the fight. Like, and he utilized it the whole fight. I mean, Royval was compromised early too with his legs. So, like, I hate the fact that he lost that fight. But like I said, I could have seen it going both ways. I guess if you like, this really could have went both ways. Like, I'm not like upset that he lost, and I'm not like crazy happy that Royval won because I don't think Royval's that good, man. After watching that fight, like, there's no way he's gonna beat. I just fucking went brain dead. Pantoja. There's no way he's gonna beat Pantoja.
Pantoja's definitely the champ. Deserves to be the champ.
So, I mean, and I loved it. Pantoja was in the crowd and he threw up 5-0 because he's 5-0 combined against both of these guys.
Is that what that meant?
That's what he meant when he said 5-0. Because he was throwing it up that he's beat both of these guys combined 5 times. That's crazy. So
Pantoja's badass, bro.
I love Pantoja, man. He's actually he's grown on me a lot. Like, as far as one of my favorite champions. Like, I get it. He's like, it's hard for an American person who like only speaks English to like, you don't see a lot of these guys respect these guys who can barely speak English because it's hard for them to relate to them, I guess. So they don't get a lot of praise because of it. I mean, unless it's like Ilya or something like that, but it's hard for a lot of these guys who barely speak English to get respect. And the fact that he's a young weight division, like it's a low weight division, like you already know back in the day, they almost were going to get rid of this weight division back in the day.
I know, man.
So like it doesn't get the credit that it deserves. And I hate that for him because he's a fucking animal. So
yeah, flyweight could be crazy, man.
It's getting better. It's one of my favorite divisions.
I'm ready to see Amir Albazi get knocked out.
Yeah, same. And there's a lot of prospects coming up too. We were just talking about is fighting next week. So, and then the co-main, man, this one right here, this one shook up a lot of shit, man. Yair Rodriguez versus Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega coming with the 3rd round finish. And I guess if you want to say it, he's back.
Holy fuck. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No, I mean, Yair did not look good after that first round.
First round, he looked awesome.
He looked like he was going to finish him. And then out of nowhere, Ortega just stepped it up, dude, and just started looking good. And then by the end of that fight, man, you almost thought like Yair didn't know where he was at. He almost had a Mike Malott moment, like where he was winning the whole fight, and I guess he just lost composure. He didn't know what to do. I don't know. Like I really don't know what happened and how he lost so much composure so fast.
I asked myself this today, and I still don't know the answer to it. Do you think it was his lack of BJJ or Ortega's amazing BJJ that made it look like that?
I think it's Ortega's skill level.
Really?
Yeah.
Made it look because dude, he looked good on the fucking ground, bro.
Because Yair's shown before that he can grapple and submit people. So I mean, I don't think it's his lack of BJJ. I definitely think Ortega's just was that much better. I did not expect it to go the way it did, though. I mean, it was almost like he planned that. It was like picture perfect finish. And then now he's coming off of like almost a 2-year delay, comes in, wins this dominant fight, and now all of a sudden he's the number 1 contender, ready to fight for the title.
It's wild, man. And a lot of people, I mean, you know, that was a rematch. His last fight was against Yair.
Yeah, I know.
And he got knocked out. So it's like, do they do a fucking 3-peat? Jesus Christ. I mean, dude, but Ortega's good. He went 5 rounds with Volk.
Yeah.
You know, he'll go toe to toe with anyone. I think people forgot how good he actually was.
And I also want to point this out because this was a fun fact that I didn't take into consideration last night I didn't think about how cool it was. Both of these guys, Ortega and Brandon Royval, they lost against Moreno and Rodriguez, and in their last times they fought, they both got hurt is the reason why they lost. So like, and then they come back and win their rematch. And the only way they lost the first time was because they got injured. Like, imagine would the outcomes would have been different had there was no injury in the first fights, or like, did that injury kind of motivate them to win last night? Because that's a pretty cool thing to think about. You never know what really would have happened in those fights had they not have gotten hurt.
And it's crazy, man. A lot of these injuries are happening and people don't even know about it, man. They're like,
hell, was it Brian Ortega jumped up in the air last night and came down and rolled his ankle right off the rip?
Right off the rip, dude. What was going on?
That was nuts.
They were giving some speculation and like controversy from holding on to that choke a little too long.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know.
Yeah,
he got up and immediately apologized. Like he could have he just may not have heard it.
Yeah.
Like heard the stop or something. Like, I don't know. The crowd was probably going nuts.
You know they were, dude.
So
I mean, that was a really tight arm. That was sick, bro.
Oh, it was super tight.
It was a clinic.
So now we can just have that conversation. Like, what's next? I think I made a tweet earlier today about kind of what I want to see, and what I think is best for the division right now. So right now we have. Before I say my tweet, I want to put this out there. I think a lot of people are not thinking about Aljamain Sterling. He has now moved up to this division. and he's about to fight Calvin Kattar on UFC 300. So I don't think a lot of people's taking that into consideration with this current division, because Aljo could easily win against Kattar and be right there in the conversation of a title shot simply because of his reign that he had at his previous weight class in the bantamweight division. I mean, it's very controversial to think, like, could he go right from a win to title shot? I think he could. Depends on how Dana White favors him. But I mean, he was a dominant champ, so we've seen it before when people move up a weight class or something like that. The pathway is kind of different than people who are in the weight division because they were already champs before. But I want to see either Ilya versus Volk 2 or Max before I see anybody else fight Ilya next. And then obviously Max is pending this BMF fight, which I love. I love that they're both warriors and they're both dogs. But for Max's sake, if he wants to fight for the title, I don't think it's a good fight for him to take, because you're going up against Justin Gaethje, dude. This one punch from Justin Gaethje could end your career, could put you out for a year. Like, you never know.
Yeah,
what you're putting yourself into.
It's pretty scary for Max in that situation, man.
But if Max goes out there though and fucking dominates Justin Gaethje, then you're talking. Then there's a whole lot of talk around some other things. But so that's what I want to see, either that, and then I think we do Brian Ortega versus Movsar Evloev for the number one contender. I think that's our number one contender fight next. And then I say we do Giga versus Yair. That should be that in the next fight for those guys. Okay. And then we do Arnold Allen versus Josh Emmett. I think that rounds out your top 10. And I think that's how the next top 10 fight should go. Dana White, if you're listening, I just made your next year worth of featherweight fights. There you go, bud. You're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, I would like Josh Emmett versus Aljo. That'd be good.
Ooh.
That'd be a good fight.
That would be good.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Dude, he may put fucking Aljo's lights out with one punch. He went down from a punch from Sean O'Malley. Can you imagine getting hit from fucking a clean shot from Josh Emmett? He's putting anybody in this division down with one clean shot. I mean, he's just that guy. Same with Ilya. I mean, Ilya strikes just as hard. Like, he's a strong puncher, as we've seen recently. He's not no fucking pillow puncher. So one shot from either him or Emmett, you're going down, bro. The rest of them, I'm pretty convinced you can't. Like, there's some of them that could knock you out, I guess, but they're not going to just knock you out from a clean punch. But Josh Emmett will, and so will Ilya. Both of those guys have that one punch knockout power. But like, Max is kind of just an all around boxer, striker. He's going to piece you up. Yair, we saw last night, couldn't knock out Brian Ortega. He's a bitch. And then Movsar doesn't have that kind of power. Arnold Allen could, but he's kind of like up in there in that striking range. Like, he just strikes a lot, but doesn't really get the finish. And then Giga and Calvin Kattar. And outside of that, I don't really think any of the names are too crazy. But yeah, so Yair, man, like, I don't know what's next for him. I mean, if you do you like that Giga fight? Like,
that'd be a good fight, man. It's a bounce back, and Giga's on his way up.
Giga's on the way up. Yair just lost, 2 in a row.
It'd be a good fight too. Like, that would be an entertaining fucking fight.
I agree. So
yeah.
Overall, though, shout out to Brian Ortega getting the fucking W in front of his ex-wife. And then
so what's up with that? I'm so confused. I guess I don't know the story.
I think he cheated on her. Like, they got married and then he cheated on her.
Brian Ortega?
And then they divorced or separated, and then now she's like a smoke show, and everybody's like, he fumbled the bag, so he like dropped the ball by doing something stupid. I mean, I guess he has another family now, so it's like, fuck it, who cares? But
why was she there? Just
I think out of spite. I mean, it's your ex-wife that you cheated on. You're coming there, just kind of like getting his head. I don't know.
That's fucking.
Hey, Ortega's bitches be bitching, bro.
Bitches be bitching. Ortega's a savage, man.
Yeah, he is. I mean, and then he got the dominant victory. I would have got on the fucking octagon and like pointed at her and flicked her off or something. Did the DX or something. That would have been funny. My wife would have laughed at that. Fuck it.
Oh yeah. High five, dap it up.
And then the fight that we were all kind of mixed on. You had Prado. Me and Murky had Zober. there were a second in the very beginning where I think we all said to each other, like, Prado could knock him out.
He could, man. If he was getting tight, he was getting inside of him.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, dude, then he got fucked up.
Dude, and Zellhuber coming at that end of the end of the first and then started the second and third. Like, he just started piecing them up. Like, it was nobody's business, bro.
Dude, he's dirty, man. And that reach
really got fight of the night, too.
Oh, yeah. He wore him out, that reach, dude. Yep. He wore him out. But, I mean, that was a badass fight. That's why I loved this whole entire main card, man. It was fucking great.
Yeah, and then the fight before that, Yasmin, Sam Hughes.
That fight sucked.
You know who I finally realized who she looks like? Remember when I said last night she looked like Sid and everybody was like, no, that's not. She doesn't look like that. I now know who it is, bro. It's the kid from Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, my God. Stewie or whatever, the little brother. Oh, my God. I see that all day.
Doesn't she, bro?
Holy shit. That little fucking weasel.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. He was hilarious, man. The middle brother.
He was.
The middle brother was the best.
All right, Sam Hughes. She got pieced up. Yasmin looked great, though. She looked good. Her power wasn't there, though. I took her by knockout. Fuck.
Yeah, her power definitely wasn't there, but
or Sam Hughes just has a fucking stout chin. I don't know, either one.
A crispy chin. She looks like she do.
But obviously, performance of the night was the main first fight of the night. Manuel Torres, Chris Duncan, first round submission. Dude, just beat his ass, bro. Chris Duncan stood no chance in there. Which is crazy. After studying his tapes, dude, like I was watching, I even went into depth on this fight and gave him a chance. Bro, he got fucked up.
I had Chris Duncan winning, but I mean, he got manhandled, bro. He just got pretty much raped.
Yep. So Manuel Torres is actually good as fuck.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's a goofy looking dude too, man. He's on a fucking killing spree right now. 3 wins in a row in the UFC. I mean, come on.
A lot, and he has a lot of first round finishes, dude. A lot.
Yeah, 14 first round finishes.
Yep.
That's entertaining as fuck. 7 by knockout, 6 subs.
Yep. So we'll see how he fares in that lightweight division coming up like that. The prelims, though, man, there was a lot of controversy in the prelims, in my opinion, dude. The last fight of the night was pretty dope. The guy was kind of getting his ass whooped and then got the finish in the very end. That was pretty fucking awesome. But Jesus Aguilar, Mandoka, I think we all were like, how the fuck did Aguilar win?
It made no sense.
It didn't make any sense at all for them to give it. And I think that one just had something to do that the crowd just persuade that victory.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I thought that was crazy how he pulled that out. And it fucked up my parlay too. So,
dude, there was so many split decisions on this card. I think there was like 4 or 5.
I know. Well, that's good. That's good. That means a lot of fights were good.
Competitive, yes. Dude.
And then, how about Edgar Chairez, man?
Dude, that was one I liked. That first round sub.
He fucking walked out with fucking 2 bullet straps on his fucking chest and fucking took it off, like probably in the cartel or was so. But he's a fucking beast, dude. I tweeted last night. I said he's just fucking good. That's it. Simple as that.
Yeah, no, he's good, man. He went to work
quick, bro.
Took care of business. Probably railed some cocaine.
There's very high possibility before and after.
Yeah,
doing that. So,
and
then awesome. The fight before that, Ziem and Puelos. That was a good fight. Very close.
Super close, man. That went to split too, right?
Yep, split decision. And then, we started the night with a TKO, but that one was kind of to be expected. Split decision, another split decision win, the second fight of the night. And Dos Santos, they said that that was one of the controversial wins, I think.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a decent card. Like I said, I'll give it close to an 8, like maybe like a 7.8 out of 10. I wouldn't say anything spectacular happened, but it definitely shakes up a few things out there in the world of the UFC just on some of the wins.
Yeah, man. The guy that got the first fight of the night, he's on a tear right now, dude. He's pretty solid. Mohamed Naimov, the fuck? Yeah, dude, he's won 3 in a row in the featherweight. I mean, dude, he's solid.
Yup. So let's see. we do have a fight night coming up next week that I should admit it's not great. I mean, there are some okay names on it, but it's not like great. I mean, Yair Rozenstruik, he's on a decline.
I just don't get why that's the main event. I would think it would be Perez versus Muhammad
or Umar.
Yeah, or Umar. Yeah, I just don't understand why that's the main event.
Well, the only fight that is versus two ranked opponents is Muhammad Makayev and Matt Schnell, Steve Erceg.
Makayev's a beast, man.
You think he wins? You think he wins with ease?
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah. And then, I mean, there's that prospect that's on this card too, Vitor Petrino.
Yeah,
undefeated, 10-0. So, I mean, that light heavyweight, we need some action in the light heavyweight class, dude. He's coming off 3 wins, a knockout his last fight.
Yep.
We need
Tyson
some
Pedro
talent.
is a problem too, bro.
Oh yeah, he's been a problem. He's been. So I mean, it's not bad. I'm not gonna lie. I do not hate this card. There's 4 fights I'm eager to watch. Usually on a fight night, there's fucking 2 or 3.
No, I mean, hell, Tyson Pedro has beat the likes of Khalil Roundtree, fucking Paul Craig. Like, he's got a lot of dominant wins.
Damn, he beat Roundtree, man. I'm such a Roundtree fan, dude. I can't wait till he fights again.
That was his first fight in the UFC.
Really good shit. He's got hands. He's got hands.
So that should be a good fight. But overall, man, I mean, great weekend of fighting. You got anything you want to touch on? I don't think we really have to go too long tonight. I mean, it was pretty self-explanatory. Nothing, no real crazy news happened in between time, to my knowledge. I mean, there were a couple fight announcements that came up. We know Terrence McKinney has another fight coming up. Joe Giannetti, our boy, has a fight coming up now, announced today.
It's today. They announced it today. Fuck yeah.
He announced that he had another fight. Maybe it was today or yesterday.
Let's go, man.
This week. And then what's the other one that got announced? Matt Frivola's got a fight announcement now.
Frivola, that beast.
And I need a Jalen Turner fucking fight announcement. Where's our boy at, man?
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been too long, but still. Announcement from him would be sick.
Hold on a second. MMA Orbit just tweeted 39 minutes ago, Nate Diaz is eyeing up UFC 306 at the Sphere in Las Vegas. He tweeted, Nate Diaz retweeted a picture of the Sphere with the Mexican flag and said, fuck it. I'll be there. Fuck UFC 300.
306.
Yeah, so he said, I'll fuck 300. I'll be at 306. So imagine we get maybe a Nate Diaz fight in this year.
God, that's so far away. They're not even talking about 301 yet. They're talking about 306.
Well, that's Nate Diaz for you.
Yeah. Did that fight?
We didn't even mention, dude. We forgot to mention that the Raul Rojas fight got canceled.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah. What the fuck? We forgot all about that.
They're running that back when? Are they supposed to be running that back ASAP?
Yeah, next week.
Next week they're running it back.
Yep.
Damn. That's awesome. I was definitely eager to watch that one. Yeah, what about that brawl in the whole entire the actual stadium of UFC Mexico City? Did you see that?
You said what?
The brawl.
Oh, yeah. Dude. And then they questioned Dana White about it afterwards. They were like, stupid. They said, that's bad for the business. And Dana White goes, how is that bad for the business? If anything, it's great for the business. That's what we do. We're a fighting organization. You got people fighting in the stands, like, dude, and they were piecing each other up. Guys knocking each other out and shit. Security just let that shit go until the end.
Let it go, man, which is
Didn't
crazy.
Even break it up. Like,
that guy dropped 2 people with his dude. He hit some power behind that because it looked so slow. And it was like
awesome, bro.
Yeah, I can't wait to go in with you. I just say we just fight people there.
That'd be awesome.
It'd be sick. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got for that. I mean, we'll probably get on another episode this week as well. But for the recap, man, solid fight night. I mean, almost felt like a pay-per-view to me. It was sick.
Yeah, I agree. Dana White has said that Alexa Grasso next fight will be announced soon. This was last night or today that got announced. Ilya Tapourier was out with the Real Madrid soccer team today, getting like praised by millions of people. Already becoming a superstar.
I mean, dude, Spain is about their people. I mean, you see how they are, their soccer teams. Like, they are about that action.
What else have we got? Anything? International Fight Week. It will be from June 24th to June 30th. What's up, bro? Little birthday trip to Vegas.
Shit. I still have never been to Vegas, bro.
If I sell that mega deal, maybe we'll go.
Let's go.
But yeah, man, that's it. I think I'm good. If you're good, obviously, if you can't tell, Murky's not on with us today, but Murky will be on another episode this week, likely the talk for next week. He had something to do, but we brought it back to the old times. Me and the old boy Nasty doing the combo. But yeah, if you do like our shit and you do follow us on all platforms, make sure you watch this episode, like the video, share it with your friends, fucking share it with your MMA fans. Listen to it on Spotify. Anything helps us grow. We're looking to do a lot of good shit this year, so hopefully everything kind of works out in our favor. But we can't do it without the people fucking watching and listening. So
yeah, and if you train, share it at your local gym.
Yeah,
fighters love this type of shit, man. So.
And if you know people who are fighters and amateur pro, like hell, we'll always open the conversation for anyone.
Shit, come on the show.
Any level, dude. Come on the show. Let's talk. We want to hear your story. We want to hear what you're doing. We do not discriminate as far as who's big and who's small. We'll take anybody, man. We want to talk about fighting forever. So, yeah, Nasty. That's all I got, bro. If you don't have anything else, like I said, we'll be back on next week. Follow us on all platforms, like the video, share that shit, and this should be out Monday. So if you're listening now, it's Monday morning. And then we'll be back on again later on in the week. So Nasty, I will fucking talk to you later, brother.
All right, big dog.
All right, bro. Deuces.
Deuces, pussy.